Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the start of another weekly reading vlog. It is currently Wednesday the 30th of August when I'm starting this, so I'm a little late to the game this week and I am not currently reading anything. I do have one book that I really need to read. On Sunday I am going to be on a live show with Steph from Steph Loves for her literature book club, and the book for this month is Indigo by... I cannot remember, but I'll probably insert a picture on the screen. I have this one downloaded on my Kindle. It is on Kindle Unlimited. I know that it is in a series. I think it's the Edens. I'm assuming it's like another companion series about the Eden brothers or siblings. Honestly, I don't really know. All I really know about this one is I'm pretty sure there's sort of like a thriller crime aspect to this as well as it being a romance. So it sounds right up my street. The live show is this Sunday at 7 p.m, so I need to have read it by then. I haven't started it yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be a quick read, and the next few nights I don't have anything planned, so I'm hoping I can just speed through it. Tonight I do want to continue journaling because I started journaling again like 2 days ago and decided to just like restart my book bullet journal and make it more me. I'm so bad at starting journals and not continuing with them, and I think the main reason for that is a lot of the time like I see all these people doing these amazing spreads and I want to do the same, and when I can't and it looks awful, I just give up. Like, I'm one of those people who if I'm not good at something I don't do it. So what I'm trying to do is start off quite simple this time, quite simple spreads, because I have seen quite a lot of people who have their sort of like journaling journey, the how it started to how it's going type TikToks and reels and things, and I've seen a lot of people who started off their journals really super simple, like literally just writing like reviews in a notebook, and now they do these amazing spreads. Just like they've gradually gotten better and they've gradually gotten more into journaling. Obviously they've collected a lot more materials, they've got a lot more inspiration, so I just want to start at the beginning nice and simple and hopefully go on that same journey gradually. So the spread that I'm working on at the minute I am so excited about. I saw it on Pinterest and it's basically a physical TBR spread. So I am doing tons of spaces for all of these books on shelves, and I'm writing the titles of all of the books on my physical TBR, and the aim of the game is to colour these in, tick these off whenever I read a book on my physical TBR. And I am really conscious of my physical TBR at the minute. I'm trying not to buy any more books because I want to get through as many of my unread books as possible. Like, that's my current mission. So I'm hoping that having this spread is going to make me more excited to pick up all my unread books, because I'm that sort of person where if there's something to tick off or colour in or something, it just gives me the motivation. So that's the plan, fingers crossed. I'm currently halfway through doing that spread. I think I've put like 100 books down so far and I've not even finished one bookshelf. But the bookshelf that I've been doing is the one that has like the ones that are stacked vertically, horizontally. I'm not even sure how you describe that, but I feel like there's a lot more books on this back bookshelf than there is on this one. This one is mostly my fairy books, which are all like big hardback books, and they're all just like stacked normally, so I feel like there's a lot less on that bookshelf. So fingers crossed they're all going to fit in to the spread. That's the plan for tonight. I want to finish that off, and I think I'll start listening to an audiobook while I do so. At the moment I have no idea what audiobook that is going to be. I'm considering Twisted Games by Anna Huang because I would really like to continue that series, but I'm just going to little browse on Scribd and see what catches my eye, and then hopefully I'll get a lot of that done tonight, and then tomorrow and Friday I can read as much of Indigo as is physically possible. Saturday I am busy. I'm going back home to Fife for a nice like drinks, nibbles night day with my mum, my friend and my friend's mum. We do these little mother-daughter nights and it's always such a nice time. Sunday I'll be coming back here. If I haven't already, I will be finishing off Indigo during the day and then doing the live show at night. So it's quite a nice bookish week this week. I'm really excited for it all. All of this mess behind me here is my little setup with all of like my journaling stuff, so I'm sorry if that's been annoying you in the background, but yeah, I'm good to go. I'm ready to go. I am going to go on sprints with Mads and Christy. Hopefully that'll keep me motivated to continue this, although I don't think I really need motivation because I'm just really excited about doing this journaling. But it'll be nice to speak to Mads and Christy because I have been really unwell the last couple of weeks and I'm finally feeling better, so I'm ready to socialise again. But yeah, those are the plans for this week. I'm going to go ahead now and get started with my journaling. Thursday. I have just got done filming another video. I filmed my September TBR. I did use the Wheel of Names again to make it a little bit more exciting, and I'm really excited about this TBR. I got some good books through those prompts. That video should be out by the time you're watching this vlog because I am hoping to get it edited over the next couple of nights and get it up on Saturday evening. We'll see. If all goes according to plan, that will be the case. But last night I did finish the spread that I wanted to for my book journal, and I'm so happy with it. I cannot wait to start ticking off all of the books on my physical TBR as I read them. I did pick up Legendborn for that reason, because Legendborn is one that I own physically as well as being available on Scribd as an audiobook. So I thought, two birds, one stone. I'll start listening to the audiobook and then that could be my first book that I tick off of my physical TBR. I also did do a couple more spreads for my Fairy Loot books, so I just wanted like spreads for all the Fairy Loot monthly books just to see them all like at the end of the year what we got for each month. So I did one double spread for the young adult books and one double spread for the adult books as well, and they were pretty simple. I'm basically just going to pop the covers in as they come out and it'll look really cute hopefully at the end of the year. I'm also going to put like little star ratings, like this, I have these little star rating stickers underneath that you like colour in however many stars you give it. I'm going to pop those underneath them in hopes that I will read all of the Fairy Loot books throughout the year because I do really want to keep on top of them. But while I was doing that, I did manage to listen to quite a bit of Legendborn. I think I've put a bookmark in where I got up to, but I just don't, I did that last night and for some reason I don't believe myself now, so I'm going to check where I got up to on Scribd. See, it says chapter 11, which I think is actually chapter 10 because usually chapter 1 on Scribd is like the intro. I think, I could be wrong, but if I got to chapter 10, that means I got to page 87, which is not too bad. That is where I put the bookmark. I am surprised with myself. So yeah, I am enjoying this one so far. I do kind of feel like maybe the audiobook wasn't the best way to go. I don't usually listen to fantasy through an audiobook because I feel like I'll miss lots, especially when you've got like lots of world building that you're trying to take in. But at the same time, I feel like a YA fantasy should be okay to take in that way. And I also feel like usually with a YA fantasy, it doesn't matter that much if I don't get all of the intricate details. But I am really enjoying this one so far. We're following Bree, and at the beginning of the novel, her mum passes away when she is a young teenager, I believe. And obviously this is like a hugely defining moment for her in her life. And we fast forward a few years, I think. Dates are something I never seem to take in if I am listening to an audiobook, so let's check. Oh no, 3 months later, not years. 3 months later she's going off to uni, I believe, and when she's there, like her first night on campus, she is like going out for the night trying to be like a social human despite still obviously going through a lot of grief, and she sees a demon, I think it is, like it's swirling around in the air like trying to feed on humans, and she's never seen anything like this before, and it's very clear that people around her cannot see it, so she must be like a little bit different. And then this guy comes up and tells her to leave and tells the rest of them to leave, and they all just suddenly become like robotic and start like walking away, and they do not have any memory of what they have just seen. And she is one of them until she falls and like hurts herself and the pain jolts her out of it and she can remember everything again. And then she meets Nick, I think, who is one of these like magical people who are called the Legendborn. All like normal humans are called Onceborns, and he tells her a little bit more about it, and he tells her that there's no way she should be able to remember, like she should not have been able to break out of that like memory spell thing, and she is not to tell anyone, particularly the guy who did it, that she can remember. The guy who did it, what's his name? Because I feel like Nick and the other guy are the love interests, and Cell. So Cell's like this dark brooding. Cell is, I think, I'm assuming Cell is this guy and Nick is this guy. So he's like the dark brooding damaged one and he's like the nicey nice one. It's always the same. The blonde one's always the nice one and dark haired one's always like the dark one. So I'm assuming those two are going to be the people that complete the love triangle with her. Basically, she starts having more memories from when her mum died and realised that her mum's death was something to do with like this Legendborn world. So she obviously wants to find out more, and in order to do so, she becomes Nick's page, and I think she has to enter into this like tournament to become like one of the mages in their like faction type thing. Can you tell I did not take enough of this in? I was tired last night and I was also journaling and focusing on that a bit, so I feel like I might have missed parts, but I'm hoping if I start listening to it again, it'll all start to make sense. We'll see. If it gets to a point where I'm just really confused, I'll have to like DNF it and read it physically another time, but I'm still holding out hope at the moment. My plan for tonight, I think, is to try and edit that TBR video. I do really need to start Indigo Ridge. The live show has now been moved to Monday, so I do have a bit more time. Honestly, I think I could read that book in 1 or 2 sittings, so it really shouldn't be an issue, but I just want to feel like I've started it. Otherwise, it's just sort of like looming over me. But I also really want to get this video ready, and I feel like I've got enough energy and like mental capacity to edit tonight. So I'm going to start off, I think, by listening to more of Legendborn and doing some rough cuts for that video. I'll see how I feel once the rough cuts are done. If I'm still good to go, I will finish off editing the video. If not, I think I'll pick up Indigo Ridge on my Kindle, which is charging over here just now. Yeah. That's the plan. Let's put it into action. Hi guys, happy Friday. I am here with some updates. Last night I did manage to get my September TBR all edited and uploaded, so that has just gone live this evening and it seems to be going down really well. You guys seem to be enjoying it, which I am really happy about. While I was doing said editing, I made an important discovery. I managed to get 25% of the way through Legendborn, so a good amount into this book when I realised that I had absolutely zero idea what was going on in this book. I have learned my lesson. I now know that I cannot do fantasy books audibly because I just missed so much of the world building in this, so much of the explanation. I would like zone out a bit and zone back in, and then they'd be talking about these creatures that I'd never heard of, be talking about how people were the descendants of other people. I didn't know who any of these people were. I just had absolutely no clue what was going on. So it turns out for me, thrillers and romances are great to listen to and to still understand. I think it's because those are still grounded in the real world. So if I'm listening to a thriller, if I miss like a paragraph or so, yeah, I might miss a clue or something like that, but I will still understand where I am and what is going on. Whereas anything that has any sort of world building, anything that is fantasy basically, I cannot consume audibly because I just don't take enough in. So Legendborn is being sacked off, which is really sad. I am going to start it again and read it physically. I have put it on my September TBR though, so I do plan to still get to it at some point this month, but I'll have to do so physically. So for now, this one's going on the back burner, and that effectively means that I have not read anything this week yet, which is really depressing considering I did really read a quarter of a book, but I have no memory of it. I'm really upset, guys. I'm really upset. But anyway, it is Friday evening. I've had my dinner. I am all ready to cozy up. I have my reading chair out. I am going to sit in said reading chair and just have such a cozy reading night. I am finally, I know I've been saying it since the beginning of this vlog, I am going to start Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. I have this on my Kindle. It is on Kindle Unlimited. This is the first book in the Eden series and I believe all of the books are on Kindle Unlimited, so hopefully I will love this book and I'll want to continue with the series and can do so on my Kindle. This one I think is only like 350 pages. I'm sure that's what I read, so it shouldn't be too long a read. I'm hoping I can get a good chunk of it read tonight and either read it in 1 or 2 sittings. I'm actually going to look up the blurb right now because I don't even really know what this one is about other than it being a romance with some sort of like thriller aspect to it. So let's have a quick look on Goodreads. So Goodreads says, from USA Today best-selling author Daphne Perry comes a small-town enemies to lovers contemporary romance. Winslow Covington believes in life, liberty, and the letter of the law. As Quincy Montana's new chief of police, she's determined to prove herself to the community and show them she didn't earn her position because her grandfather is the mayor. According to her pops, all she has to do is earn favour with the Edens. But winning over the town's founding family might have been easier if not for her one-night stand with their oldest son. In her defence, it was her first night in town and she didn't realise that the rugged and charming man who wooed her into bed was Quincy royalty. Sleeping with Griffin Eden was a huge mistake, one she's trying to forget. He's insufferable, arrogant, and keeps reminding everyone that she's an outsider. Winslow does her best to avoid Griffin, but when a woman is found dead on Eden property, the two of them have no choice but to cross paths. As clues to the murder lead to one of Quincy's own, Griffin realises Winslow is more than he gave her credit for. Beautiful and intelligent, she proves hard to resist. For him and the killer. Okay, I'm excited. That sounds so good because it's got like such a good romance plot, but it also has quite an interesting crime mystery plot as well. And you guys know, those are two of my favourite genres, so to put them together, this could be a new favourite. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm just gonna get started. I'm gonna get myself comfy. I'm gonna get started with Indigo Ridge and I will give you an update once I've made a little bit of progress. Happy Sunday. I have not vlogged at all over the last couple of days for no particular reason. I just have been a busy bee and for some reason it completely slipped my mind to turn on the camera and give you any sort of b-roll of my activities. But I am back in Glasgow now after a flying trip home and I am ready to finish off Indigo Ridge before the live show tomorrow. I did end up reading 50% on Friday night. I started this and I could not stop reading. If I was not exhausted, I definitely would have read this in one sitting. It's just so engaging. I think my favourite thing about it is that it's got this really good smutty romance, but it also has this really intriguing murder mystery storyline as well that is so well done. Like, it does feel like a good thriller murder mystery. I really don't know what's going on, but I am so invested. And I think actually it's quite impressive to have both of those together in one book, because to me that sounds like it shouldn't work to have those two sides because they're quite different tones. But Daphne Perry is doing such an amazing job of bringing those two together in one book because it's completely seamless. We basically follow Wynne as she moves to Quincy to become the new chief of police, and on her first night there she goes to like one of the local pubs and she meets this guy. They hit it off, they're flirting. He thinks she's just a tourist coming through and they decide to have like one night of passion in the back of his truck. Great for both of them. But then the next day she then goes to a meeting where she is to meet the sort of like founding family of the town. The dad and his oldest son, and the oldest son happens to be the guy that she slept with last night. So neither of them are very happy about this development, but they have to sort of learn to get on, and at first they're so rude to each other because neither of them wanted to like be in each other's lives, and the tension is so good, like the sexual tension, because they're so rude to each other but they are so attracted to each other and you can just feel it, like it's palpable. And I love how Daphne Perry wrote that. One of my favourite things to read is that sort of tension, especially when there's like slip-ups because there's so much attraction, but they shouldn't. It's sort of like forbidden fruit type vibes. I love that, and I think Daphne Perry has written it so well. And then in terms of like the murder mystery element, on one of Wynne's first days, a body of a young girl, like a teenager, is found at the bottom of this sort of cliff face, Indigo Ridge, and everyone thinks it's suicide. It's happened before, but Wynne doesn't believe it is. She thinks there's more to this and she starts digging, and the town really do not like her asking questions about this and like dredging up old past wounds. And that sort of small town vibe is done really well as well. Like, I love small town vibes in a romance and I love how it's done in this, but I also love the small town vibes in the murder mystery element as well. It's got cowboy vibes, like Griffin, the love interest, owns or works on a ranch, which gives me Chestnut Springs vibes. I'm not gonna be mad about that, but this is sort of like a darker, more adult version, I guess. Not that Chestnut Springs is an adult because it's very smutty, but it's more like the subject matter just feels a lot darker, obviously, because of the murder mystery element. And at the moment I think the relationship between these two is just so healthy. Like, they're both aware of what's going on. Neither of them want to make it into like a proper relationship, but they're talking about it. There's no miscommunication. They've both said this is just sex, nothing more, and they've both said that from both sides. There's no one side hiding their feelings. I mean, both of them obviously do kind of want more, but both of them also know they shouldn't because they have other responsibilities that they want to prioritise. I don't know, I just really think it's so healthy the way that it's written so far, and if you could tell, I I am really enjoying it. So right now, myself and Jordan are going to go up to the golf club. He is going to do a little bit of practice, gonna hit some balls and try and get them in the holes, I guess. And I am going to go and find a nice little patch of grass because it is really sunny today, and I'm going to try and read some more of Indigo Ridge. It is now Tuesday. I have just made myself my second iced matcha of the day because apparently these are my new obsession. I did end up finishing Indigo Ridge by Daphne on Sunday night. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to do the live show yesterday, however, because this flare up that I've been having, it's been the worst I've had in over a year, and I'm a lot better now than I was a couple of weeks ago where I was basically just in bed all the time. But I do seem to be taking a little bit longer to sort of fully recover, so I keep having quite a lot of bad days here and there at the minute. And yesterday was a bad day. I was in a lot of pain, so unfortunately I couldn't do the live show, which I'm really sad about because I would have loved to have discussed this book, but what are you gonna do? I'm feeling quite a bit better today. I'm in a lot less pain and I've got a lot more energy about me. So I thought I would just come on and conclude this vlog. I did end up giving Indigo Ridge 4 out of 5 stars. I continued to enjoy it right up until the end, and I definitely want to continue with the series. I think what fell a little bit flat for me was the sort of murder mystery aspect to it, because it does seem to be more of a romance book with a murder mystery element thrown in. There were parts of it that were quite predictable, and I really liked how it was all wrapped up. I thought it was handled really well. I think if you aren't too much of a murder mystery or thriller reader, that aspect would probably be absolutely fine to you, but as someone who is an avid thriller reader, I'm the sort of person who is going to pick more holes in that plotline. So it slightly fell flat for me, but I still did really enjoy it. I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I love the romance in this one, and the little snippet that you get at the end of the book to introducing the second book, Juniper Hill, I believe, has got me so excited to read the second one. I think I'm really going to enjoy that one. I love the characters, I love the setting. Anything that's like cowboy vibes, ranch setting is right up my alley. Like, I am a huge country music fan, so anything like that I am just going to enjoy reading about. And I really enjoyed Daphne Perry's writing style, especially for the romance part of this book, so definitely looking forward to continuing on with the series. I did also start another book last night, which was The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. I've been dying to read this book for so long now. Everyone has been raving about it recently. I fairly recently read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, and I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I feel like The Last Housewife could be even better. And I saw that it was on Kindle Unlimited, so yesterday, although I wasn't feeling too good, I did just sort of want to like cozy up and read. So I picked up The Last Housewife, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I think I read about 16%, so not too much yesterday, but we're basically following this young woman named Shay, who when she was in college she was friends with these 2 women called Clem and Laurel, and they got involved in something dark. I think it's a cult from what I've read about the book. We've not actually got into that part of the story yet, but I think it was some sort of like cult they were involved in, and one of the girls ended up committing suicide while they were there. This was 8 years ago, and the other 2, Shay, who we're following, and her friend Laurel, decided to cut and run, get as far away from the college as possible, that area as possible. Shay basically just vanished and like changed her name, all that jazz, but now she finds out through a true crime podcast that she's listening to that the other girl, Laurel, has also committed suicide in a very similar manner. And obviously this is really fishy. They both supposedly hung themselves on the campus, which made probably more sense for Clem back at the time. But for Laurel 8 years later, it's a little bit fishy that she would go back. And the scenes are just really similar. So something's going on here. The guy who hosts the podcast as well is an old childhood friend of Shay's. And though the police are counting this as a suicide, he says he wants to investigate it himself. And he basically calls out to Shay saying, please contact me if you hear this. I want to help, sort of thing, because he met the two girls when he came to visit Shay when she was in college. So he knows there's something fishy going on here as well. And at the point I'm at, she has gone back to this old college. I think it's in a place called Whitney. I could be wrong though. And she's just met up with Jamie, the podcast host, and they're going to start investigating. So I think we're going to go sort of like forward and back. So far we've had a few flashbacks to how the girls met and the sort of vibe on campus. And I think the timeline's going to keep switching like that as we find out what happened in the past to get them to where they are in the present. And I love that. I really enjoy a thriller with two timelines. I always find that so interesting, especially when it's paced well and you find out the right things at the right time. I also love a cult. I haven't actually read too many thrillers with a cult, but I have watched a lot of TV shows and I always find that aspect really sort of interesting and creepy. And I love a good creepy thriller. So I've got really high hopes for this one. I am not too sure if I'm going to be talking about it again in another vlog, because for next week's reading vlog I think I'm going to do my 2 blind dates because I'm a little bit behind on my monthly blind date with a book. So I think I'm going to do both of those for my weekly vlog next week. And I'll probably finish The Last Housewife around about those, but not talk about it for the vlog. So the next time you hear about The Last Housewife from me, it might be my September wrap up. But that is it for this week's vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please do let me know what you read this week, last week. As always, let me know if you've got any recommendations for me based on the books I've been talking about today. If you made it to the end of this video, pop the blue heart emoji down below. Just let me know that you made it to the end and that you enjoyed your time here. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, please do give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more bookish content from me. Comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings. I do reply to every single comment. I love you all and I'll see you in my next one.